The Choir Guys podcast wouldn't be possible without our amazing sponsors. To see the full list and learn more about them, visit thechoirguyspod.weebly.com/r-sponsors. Now here's a word from this week's featured sponsors. When it comes to insurance, one size does not fit all. At Haymes Insurance, they're an independent agency, so they work for you, not just one company. With multiple options for home, auto, life, and more, they'll find the best fit for your needs and budget. Visit hamesinsurance.com and let them help protect what matters most. Tired of making your own sight reading examples? Sight Reading Factory generates unlimited, tailored exercises in seconds. It's a total game changer for music educators. Try it at sightreadingfactory.com. Are you looking for high-quality choral music and a company that pays composers fairly? Endeavor gives creators 50% royalties, not 10%. Explore their repertoire at endeavormusicpublishing.com. Dale Duncan tried every sight singing method out there and saw what didn't work. So he built one that does. Designed for beginners, S-Cube trains the ear and the eye from day one, celebrates progress, and makes room for fun. If you want real results with zero gaps, check out the S-Cube sight singing program today. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Choir Guys podcast. My name is Blake Richter.
And I'm Danny Gutierrez.
We have an exciting episode in store for you today. We have the opportunity to speak with one of our closest friends and colleagues, Danny.
Today's guest holds a degree in music education from Missouri State University and a master's in education administration from William Woods University. He is also Kodai Level 1 certified through Evangel University.
Good pronunciation on that.
Yeah. He teaches K through 6th grade general music at John Thomas School of Discovery in Nixa, Missouri. Great place, by the way. Where he also directs the Discovery Singers, a before-school choir for 4th through 6th graders with 100 members.
100 members.
Previously, he taught at Roundtree and Delaware Elementary and at Reed Academy Middle School in Springfield, Missouri with Moab. Throughout his career, his students have had the honor of performing at the Missouri Music Educators Association Conference in 2017, 2019, and 2022, and soon to be 2026.
As a composer, he co-arranged The Fox with Blake Richter. Hey, that's me. Which has been performed all over the world. In addition to his work as a conductor and educator, he currently serves as president of Kodai of the Ozarks and has previously held leadership roles as SCMMEA Elementary Vice President. That's South Central Missouri Music Educators Association, for those of you that don't know. MCDA Elementary Vice President and Vice President on the Boys Choir of Springfield, the board of the Boys Choir of Springfield. He is the creator of the Treble Classroom, a website dedicated to providing free resources to help new music educators succeed in their classrooms, which everyone should take advantage of that website. Please welcome Taylor Shaeffer. Taylor, we've talked about you quite a bit on this podcast, but you've never been on. How does it feel to be sitting in my basement for like the 15,000th time, but this time on camera?
Well, this time we're not watching NBA. We are now, recording a podcast, which is awesome.
Do you feel pressure?
No pressure.
No pressure to perform?
No pressure. I really am excited about this.
That's great.
That's good. There should be no pressure.
So Taylor, we've both known you for a very long time, but I just realized this week when I was thinking about you coming on the podcast, I've known you half my life. 16 years. I'm 32, so half of my life I have known you. I first met you whenever you came to Missouri State University, and you were with my brother because you guys became friends. You guys are the same age, and so I've known you for a long time. But we also were roommates in college.
How was that? I want to know the details on your experience with that.
So Taylor,
I want to know his experience, not yours.
Well, okay, go for it.
Preface that? Do you want to preface that?
I want to own up to something.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna own up to it on the air right now. Taylor, I was a bad roommate. If you didn't know this, I was a bad roommate. I was 18 years old. I had a Justin Bieber haircut. My mother-in-law loved it. Wish I still had it, but I don't, and I don't regret not having that hair anymore. Anyway, I think that hair led to my immaturity. No, I'm not going to blame it on the hair. I was just immature. And I'm just going to tell one story that's going to tell all of our listeners how immature I was as
Is this because you don't want Taylor to tell the story?
No, he can tell. He can tell his
afraid.
side of the story, but I want to own up to my transgressions first. Okay.
I'm afraid of which story you're going to talk
this
about.
was maybe October. So I'm going to say it's 10 years ago last month. 10 years ago last month. Okay. And I, we have a list of tasks or chores, if you will, that we were supposed to do every week. This was dish week for me. And I think it was vacuum week for you.
Yeah.
Something absolutely tragic happened that week. I hope you don't mind me sharing this part of the story, but your elementary music teacher passed away that week.
Yeah.
And it was a very, very, very tough week for you. And then, it was devastating because I think you'll probably tell us later that this teacher was one of the reasons why you became a music teacher.
Yeah.
So like the reason you're at Missouri State Music Education, that person passed away that week. And dish week for me, that's what I'm focusing on is dish week.
Yep.
Except I wasn't focusing on dish week because I left the dishes out. They weren't my dishes, so I was like, I don't have to do them. But the entire apartment stunk. And like all of you guys were older than me, and so you guys were all like on me. And I was like, hey, well, Taylor, it's your vacuum week. Have you vacuumed this week? And you're like, I guess I haven't, but also like, it's been a rough week for me, right? And I said, well, you've had enough time to watch some Cardinals games in your robe, haven't you? That's how terrible of a roommate I was, that I did not have any empathy or anything for my roommate as he was going through one of the toughest weeks of his life. And I'll just be honest, we did not talk for a while after that. And that's valid.
Yeah.
That is very valid.
Yep. There was definitely a time where we had to mend our relationship, I would say. But me and Tyler both learned a few things too. We couldn't be your parent, and we both had some things that we learned that year. But I definitely think,
is that the story you're thinking of, though, Taylor?
Yeah. I think he said it in a good way.
That's
and
where it started. It kept going from there, but like
did. That was kind of the moment where we had to part of separate ways for a year or two.
Yeah.
And then we came back together and we started teaching the same district, and now we're friends. And
the fact that you're in this room right now, it's a miracle if we think about it.
Yeah.
From back then.
Love prevails.
At the end of that school year, I remember you guys being like, hey, we were in the same campus ministry, and you guys were like, hey, they have an opening at this house, and I think you should consider it. Meaning, get the heck out of here.
I don't even remember that. But
no, I remember. I think maybe my brother, who you said was Tyler.
Yeah.
I think he might have been like, "Hey, Blake, I think it's time. I think it's time that you think about moving out." But hey, love prevails and friendship prevails, and I feel like we've made it past that. And I feel like we're closer than ever.
Yeah.
Hand heart.
Hand heart.
Wow. If you're not watching on YouTube, you have no idea what's happening, but there was literally a spark between our hands.
Yeah.
Anyway, Danny, do you remember the first time you met Taylor? Or actually, Taylor, I'm going to ask you that question.
I know
Taylor,
the answer.
Describe the first time you met Danny.
Wait, hold on. I'm not offered the same privilege.
No,
that I get
had
to
to own
control
up
my
to
narrative.
my transgressions. He's got to tell the embarrassing story of when you guys first met.
It's my embarrassing story anyway. So I was your practicum student, and it was me and Tyler, his brother, that came to Roundtree, and we came in, and there were some second graders. It was a second grade class, I still remember it, and they were learning about the magic flute, which we were in awe of, and they were all sitting up in their chair like perfect angels, because he was incredible, and it was just the magic flute, and we just saw these kids captivated by you, these second graders, an excellent elementary music teacher, which is crazy. You taught elementary music, middle school, and high school. Anyway, so before we were about to leave, we were like, oh, this was fun to observe, and he was like, oh no, we have a tradition. And you must go up and you must dance for the class. And I'm like, I've never met this man before. I'm like, what? And the kids are like, dance for us, and we went up there. I'm like, well, what song? So I can prepare. He's like, don't worry about it. Very New Yorker.
Knowing Taylor's personality now, In hindsight, I see how that could have been rather difficult. The scenario I put out for him.
Because I don't dance well, and that was very nerve-wracking. And so anyway, so I started dancing, but it was Thriller. So you put on Thriller, I'm like, I actually know the dance moves to this. And Tyler did not, so your brother didn't, but he can dance really well.
You know how we were raised.
The neighborhood girls next to you taught you guys how to dance. So
absolutely.
So anyway,
the dancer girls.
Yeah, he's gonna love that I put that in this podcast. But
there's videos.
Yes. Regardless, I just said follow me, and then I did all the dance moves. He made them look good, and
they both killed it.
Oh, he killed it.
At the end of it, the class was like, and I was like, what?
It was amazing.
It was wild.
And
actually.
From there, a friendship blossomed. You realized, oh, this guy's really cool. And I'm like, yeah, I am.
I guess I realized that.
No, then I took Roundtree a few years out when he went to Reed Academy. I got a lot of mentorship from him because it's my first job. And that's kind of where our friendship
and then I went
started.
to Reed, then he came to Reed.
Yeah.
And then he went to Nixa, and then I came to Nixa.
And then you went to Nixa. It was
there
just
we go.
super cool.
And this is where it ends, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
This is where it ends.
Until we die.
Nixa
till we die?
Yep. Nixa till we die.
Nixa till we die.
Nixa till we die.
Danny, join us.
Nixa till we die.
Okay.
Nixa till we die.
There we go. Encore Tours proudly supports the choir guys and the choral community that surrounds us. They work with all types of choirs to create custom international tours with guaranteed audiences, seamless logistics, and unforgettable performance experiences. Want to take your ensemble abroad? Bring your vision to life at encoretours.com/choir-guys. If you're a choir director tired of clunky fundraisers and unreliable companies, let us point you to one that works. Kansas Maid frozen pastries. We've used them for over 5 years and have had an incredible experience every single time. In fact, last fall our choir sold over $35,000 worth of pastries, and honestly, it didn't even feel like that much work. The product is high quality, the company is great to work with, and students are excited to sell. It all arrives in a timely manner, and your program gets the funds it needs without the usual stress. Check them out today at kansasmaid.com. What if your school's social media wasn't all on you? That's what Class Intercom offers, student-led, teacher-approved content creation that actually works. We've been using it for 3 years and the difference is huge. Students write the posts, we review and approve them. Class Intercom gives them a platform and gives us peace of mind. It also syncs with every school account, so no more logging into 5 platforms just to post one update. If you're ready for better content and less stress, check out classintercom.com today.
All right, Taylor. So you are a choir director. You're a music educator, right? So how did this happen? How did Taylor Shaeffer become a music educator?
That's a great question. I would say, number one, I took piano lessons when I was in 2nd grade.
You took piano lessons?
I did.
Then why don't you play better? I'm so confused.
My sister plays really well, and
you took from an actual formal teacher, like piano lessons?
Yeah, she was my elementary music teacher.
How long did you take piano lessons for?
Until like freshman year of high school.
Wow.
You're way better at piano than I am.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yes.
I feel like he's pretty good at piano, Danny.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just did not practice much in high school.
We're putting this to the test next time we hang out. Like, really, I want to hear it. But I'm sorry. Keep going.
I appreciate it.
Sorry.
I appreciate the heartfelt.
It was a genuine question. I honestly wanted to know.
Yes.
Like, I didn't realize that you play piano well.
Yes.
You play piano well.
I did.
When Danny asks genuine questions, he usually throws shade at the same time.
Yes, usually. But yes, all 3 of us, that's something that they might not know, I'm a triplet, and so all 3 of us would play piano since 2nd grade, and then throughout middle school, me and my brother didn't play as much. I did more choir, and then my sister, she was the best out of all of us, for sure.
And you took like group lessons or like one
at a time, yeah. We stayed after school in elementary school, and then in high school we kind of, I started doing more choir, and I didn't practice as much. But
did your mom just have the idea to do this with you guys?
She wanted a well-rounded education. We did sports, and she wanted something arts wise.
But she doesn't have music background though,
She
right?
played flute in
good old Susan.
high school, yeah. And
Love
so
Susan.
my dad though can't keep a beat in church, which is kind of my inspiration of teaching beat in
I was gonna
my
say,
classroom.
this is one of the reasons
So-
why you wanted to be an elementary music
It's
teacher
true.
because of your father.
Yes, my dad. Yeah, I know. And so, yeah, I took piano lessons in second grade.
I do have one question about
Yeah.
the piano lessons.
Please.
So since there's triplets, Morgan, Jordan, you, shout out to the triplets. You guys are great. Same bench, like one of you is in the middle and then the other two are one chink in it on the side.
It was individually.
It was
I know, but then
individually.
when they practiced later, did you guys do a
had to-
trio and one cheek, middle person gets both cheeks?
No, no
I bet
cheeks
the
were
only person
involved.
that practiced was
It was
Morgan.
just one. Morgan practiced more than all, and then my mom had to drag me or my brother in and practice.
Sorry. So you played
Yeah.
piano and you gravitated in high school more toward the choir direction.
Yeah, so I did more choir. My sister did band in middle school. Me and my brother did choir, but I really went into choir. And so we did also had two elementary music teachers, Pat Johnson as well, who was also awesome, that came up later, who had passed away. And he... I got to have my A+ my senior year with him as well. And so
I didn't know that.
that was super neat to go back to my elementary school and work with them. And we used to have coffee, and same with Mrs. Bloomhoff. We would see her as well. And she's a lovely person as well. And then middle school did show choir, which was really neat. And then high school is all the jazz hands, yes. And that's why I talk with my hands. And then in high school, Andrew Scott at St. Charles West, go Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
We had a great choir experience there, and then off to Missouri State. So
So
it's great.
what was when did you decide you were going to do music teaching though?
I knew I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do teaching in general. I thought I would be a history teacher. And then my senior year, we went to something, Acapalooza with Jim Henry. And so that was super neat to do all of that. And we had a barbershop quartet. And just through that experience and getting more leadership roles that Mr. Scott gave me my senior year, it's like, no, I want to switch to music education. And so I started looking at schools, and I ended up at Missouri State, and I loved it. I loved the campus, loved the music program. It was a great experience.
So the Acapalooza was the thing that kind of got your mind around that?
It showed me what more was out there. It showed me different programs, and it showed me other people that were much better than myself that I wanted to aspire to, and I felt like doing the because there was a lot of...
And it's all guys that did that,
all
right?
guys. There's like 200 guys.
They still do it
at
to this
UMSL. They
day.
still do it. And
Yeah.
it was an inspiration. Then they brought the Ambassadors of Harmony in it. And we got to see a bunch of men sing. And it was really cool.
So Jim
to see all
Henry's
that.
one of the big reasons why.
Oh, yeah. Jim Henry he's one of my
Jim
idols.
Henry.
Yeah, we should. I was
love
thinking
Jim
that.
Henry.
But it was funny because a few years, I don't know, it was
Oh, no.
6 or 7. Oh my gosh, I said it. 6 or 7 years ago.
Oh, no.
We were Anyway, we were at MCDA, and it was in Jeff City, and I saw Jim Henry there, and I was like, you want to say hi to Jim Henry? And he's like, no, I can't. Then I went over to Jim Henry anyway. I was like, hey, just so you know, my friend really loves you. Really
Right.
loves you. And I'm like, look at him. And you were like,
Yeah, I was like, please don't.
I feel like that's the same thing whenever you met Jerry Estes. It's like the same thing. You were fangirling. You came home and told me, you're like, Jerry Estes? I met him.
I met him. Yeah, I did. I saw Jerry Estes and we talked. And then he even said something, my first year of teaching, in his session about me after he had talked to me. I was like, Jerry Estes knows my
You're like,
name.
I've made it. I've
Yeah.
made it.
Wow.
Yeah. It was so cool.
nice.
Well, nice. So one reason we wanted to have you on the podcast is to talk about all the cool things that you do around the holiday season with your students. So can you tell us some of the fun things that you add to your elementary choir concerts, and also some of the culture building things that you do building wide at your school? Because we know, we've been to your concerts and we've seen... It feels like thousands of pink flamingos on stage,
Yes.
and people galloping on horses and candy canes galore. It's a spectacle. I know that's a huge question and you do a lot of things, but if you can just give our listeners a taste of what you do and why you do it.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love to have a shtick for shtick's sake, like one song, okay? One song that is just ridiculous, because this is my first concert for about half my 100 singers up there, a bunch of fourth graders that are up there that they've never sang before. And so if they take themselves so seriously, they're not going to be loose. And so I try to make sure there's one song that they know we're going to let loose, and it's just a concert where, yes, we need to have good concert etiquette and we need to work on that, but we're also here to have fun. And so that's part of why I do that. And so, yes, I've had Pink Flamingos, which, by the way, the first time I did Pink Flamingos, I'm like, dude, I need like a bunch of Pink Flamingos for the biggest, brightest holiday lights. That's a great song. Do it. But I asked a kid, I was like, I have like 60 blow up Pink Flamingos at my house. I'm like, no, you don't.
Why do you have 60?
Yeah. No, I just thought they were like, fibbing to me. I was like, no, you don't. And then the mom was like, I actually have 60. Like, do you want me to bring them to school? And then I blew up all the 60 flamingos, and then I got other stuff at the Dollar Tree and for the kids, and it was fantastic, and it was ridiculous, and it was awesome. And so
you never saw this done before like that? You just came up with that idea?
Yeah, no, I try to find a song that is ridiculous. In the spring sometimes, like with duct tape, we got 100 rolls of duct tape, and we just find different.
You duct taped your principal to a chair.
We did duct tape my principal to a chair, and it was great, and my principals got involved. Like, having a story, having something that is extra. The parents want to come to the concert. They don't have to come. They want to come. I think that's a big difference, and that we are entertaining and having fun because they have fun. The kids get more invested, and that's why we have such fun time at our concert.
Yeah, and I think you have a similar, I don't know, passion or I guess philosophy as I do. Like, you want them to get a spark for choir at your school, so that way they'll continue on to sing with me. And then I want to continue that spark, so that way they will continue on to sing with me and Lauren, and then sing with Danny, Jennifer, and Tammy at the high school. I feel like we share that similar philosophy.
Yeah.
And the Pink Flamingos definitely help that spark.
Yeah, they'll never forget that. That's a memory core memories, like Inside Out. There's a core memory they'll never forget.
I know we're mainly talking about holidays like Christmas right now, but like I know you do stuff with Valentine's Day as well, and also you do stuff with candy canes like throughout the school and stuff like that. Like, what are some things that you do as the music teacher to kind of build community throughout your entire school, since you get to teach every kid in the school? Yeah,
something that actually Ruth Sorensen before me, she was at JTSD for 23 years, and then I came on, and now this is my 9th year. So they've only had 2 music teachers in 30 years, but something she started probably 15 years ago was caregrams, and it's spelled with a K, and it's it's kind of spells out something, but that used to be a part of the school, but now it's just still spelled with a K. Okay, so I can't remember what it's called. I have it written somewhere, but I still use the same form she did.
Kids always, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's giving a caregram to someone else, so you can write your name and you can buy a candy cane and you can send it to someone else, and then I have my music classes tape them and write them down, and it's become a big thing, a big fundraiser for our choir program that I put on little music and little elf hats and Santa hats, and we act like we're workshop, and we have to work and have teamwork and stuff like that for my general music classrooms, and they look forward to it every year.
So you're selling candy canes at what price point?
So it used to be a quarter when Sam's used to have a great deal, and we used to do the small ones. But then inflation, over COVID, they didn't make them anymore. So now we do, for $1, you can buy 1 candy cane, a large one, or for $10, then you can do the whole class. And the parents really like that, because if you do a whole class, then they can just say, Miss Tinlin's class, $10, and they don't have to write down all the names.
And how much money worth the candy canes do you guys raise?
Last year, we raised over $2,000.
$2,000 worth of candy canes.
Yeah. And so
for your elementary
choir program, and not just for choir, but general music. So getting tabanos and other things, it's really helpful to.
It's not only you're spreading cheer throughout the building, but you're spreading that dough.
Yeah. I make it rain. The kids just sit down. That's part of the tradition is the kids sit down and we just make it rain.
Do you have a money gun?
A money gun, and we just do that. No, if our we do not do that. I don't want the business office going after us. But it is so much
kids
fun.
just start grabbing
they start grabbing it, and it's like, please, sneak. No, it doesn't happen. No, we have it in a very secure location, and we count it just like they want us to.
That's awesome. Well, listeners, steal Taylor's idea. Well, steal Ruth's idea that
Ruth's
Taylor
idea.
has continued on. And also, if you have other ideas, share them with us, because we would love to spread the word on all the cool ideas of how to spread joy and spread more money throughout our programs as well, in the elementary buildings and beyond. As choir directors, we all want our singers to become better readers, but finding the time and the tools to teach sight reading effectively can be tough. That's where Sight Reading Factory comes in. With customizable exercises, auto-graded assignments, and new auto-assessment features, Sight Reading Factory turns sight reading into a powerful, streamlined part of your curriculum. You can focus on the exact skills your singers need, whether it's reading in mixed meter, isolating tricky intervals, or reinforcing solfege. Students can practice anywhere, anytime, and you can track their growth along the way. We've used it, we love it, and we can't recommend it enough. Visit sightreadingfactory.com to see how it can transform your choir program today. At Endeavor Music Publishing, the composers come first, and it shows. Composers receive 50% of every sale, a level of support rarely seen in music publishing today. Their catalog features high-quality, community-minded works. When you program from Endeavor, you're supporting a fair model and programming music that inspires. Explore their catalog at endeavormusicpublishing.com. If you're a choir director looking for a game-changing sight singing method, meet S-Cubed. One teacher said, "This curriculum surpassed my expectations. There's no gaps, no fluff, just clear, detailed, and engaging lessons. All I had to do was download it and go." S-Cubed gives you slides, morning work, quizzes, games, and tips for every single day, plus video guidance from Dale Duncan himself. You get your time back, your students get excited, and you get a curriculum that actually works. Start sight singing with confidence and download S-Cubed today.
Taylor, I know that you teach in many different capacities, so I know we have a lot of my students study with you in a private capacity, which is awesome. So you have a lot of private voice students, predominantly high school, but some middle level students as well. And you've taught middle level education at Reed for some time, and you've taught elementary for the longest time.
Yeah.
So you've worked with 3 distinct groups of people and had success at each level. So what has been the common thread vocally, do you think, between all of those? Like, you've had tremendous success at each level. Is there something like pedagogically or philosophically that you carry through that works for each age group?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Well, first thing is good singing is good singing. If you are relaxed, if you talk on pitch, if you're able to just do stuff that is natural, that's the biggest thing. So any level of singing, if you just go with that and more of a top-down approach as well, if you do that at any level, you'll find success.
Why a top-down approach?
Well, the top-down approach is bringing that head voice down. Mm-hmm. If you bring the chest voice up, it's going to be shouty. It's going to come straight from the larynx, not in a good way, just really, really shouty. Mm-hmm. And so if you bring that down, especially I'm working with one of your middle school students right now, and his voice is changing, and we're working on bringing some power. So I will do that, and it's fun to see some of my students go through that vocal change. Mm-hmm. And then I just had one that I had in 4th, 5th grade that's now a senior and just made All-State, and I'm giving him voice lessons now, and to see how he was a soprano,
really?
And now I had a beautiful soprano voice down into being a bass is really neat to see that transition. But really healthy singing is healthy singing.
Now, you teach up to 6th grade at your school, right? So do you deal with a bit of voice transitioning around 6th grade? Do some of the guys experience that?
Yeah, I've more and more in the fall, I just finished a unit on vocal change. I show vocal cords, how they work, because many don't know that.
Fun.
I do, yeah. I really show
And
it.
horrifying.
And horrifying. And they're like, what? And then I show more of them, like with vocal nodules and other things. They're like, oh, the horror. I'm like, look at it. It's really great.
Stare deep into the abyss.
Yeah. And
That
so
is
I
the
show,
larynx.
and so really what I do that for is don't shout at the football games, that's the biggest thing is if you keep shouting, and I also do that with hearing tests as well.
Yeah.
In 4th grade, we do a whole thing on not your headphones being too loud, but it's for their vocal health. And I know in middle school level, the cheerleaders would shout right outside our room practicing. We're like, no, you got to sing song it when you yell. And so, that's
what's interesting. So one of my students, he has a brother that's in your choir.
Yep.
At JTSD, and his voice is like pretty much changed.
It is.
And I asked him, I said, like, what part are you singing? He's like, part 1. You're singing part 1. How are you doing that? He's like, well, I just access my head voice, and then I'm like, show me. And then he showed me, and it was gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
And it's amazing that even though his voice is changing, he can still access that facility of sound. Like, do you feel like someone who has a changed voice, who's accessing that high point, I'm assuming it sounds different than just a completely unchanged voice singing high? Like, how would you describe the difference?
Yeah, so with guys, especially as their voice is changing, and we talk about it in class, I have a student right now that he can sing some bass notes, and I try to keep him up. I say in class, stay higher with me, and then individually we can work on your lower voice. But I want you to stay up there to keep access to those notes as your voice is transitioning down. And so that way, if you can keep that higher, if you go straight low, you'll lose a lot of that versatility in your voice. So if you stay high with me this year as it's changing, you'll switch over to Dr. Richter really easily and get those low notes. But if you keep that mechanism in this upper register or this new falsetto that you're gaining, then you're going to be able to have both and have an easy, seamless transition lower.
And I 100% agree with that philosophy too. And it's interesting because I think about this a lot. Singers that keep singing higher, they're more coordinated in general on that higher or like middle higher range. Once they stop singing higher, their voice gravitates toward more of the speaking voice, and it gets particularly low, and then the high stuff just goes away. To keep coordination, don't you think they just have to maintain that in their vocal training?
And that student, he begged me. He begged me to stay as a part 1. And I was like, oh, you're going to be part 2. And it's because something that Blake does really well is he celebrates high notes. In your program, even when their voices are changing, they actually get sad. I've seen both of you do it, where you guys celebrate, and then we're like, oh, I'm going to lose my high notes. I'm really sad about this. When I grew up, it was, oh, I can't wait till my voice changes. I'm going to try and sing lower, even though it wasn't healthy, because like I'm going to be a man, And
you know what's interesting? I don't know if I ever told you about this, but when I was in 6th grade in New York, we had a 6th grade school. And I remember one time we were like we were just singing a song. I don't remember what it was. I think it was, I'm not going to speculate. I don't know. But we were singing, and I was super self-conscious about my voice. My voice is like quasi-changed, but not really. But I still have facility in the higher range. And I remember one day I was like, I wonder if this is what the teacher wants me to do. If she just wants me to sing high, because I just didn't know. So one day I really locked into the higher voice, and she was walking around. She was like, Danny, great job. That's the way I want you to sing. In my head, I went, Eureka! That's the way I'm supposed to sing, because I didn't know up to this point. I just didn't know if I was supposed to sing low or what I was supposed to do. So she affirmed that, and I was like, okay, I can do this. And that gave me a lot of clarity. And I'm sure it feels great to have that affirmation from singing a certain way, just for your clarity in your head and exactly what we're supposed to do. Because I feel like sometimes like people feel pressure, like social pressure.
Yeah.
That if they're a guy and they're singing high, that's not accepted. So I think the validation helps a lot with that process.
Right. And they're used to me singing my falsetto since they were in kindergarten. So they're used to that, So when I sing in my falsetto, they're used to having that modeled for them. And so that really helps. And then we keep singing higher. It's like, that's awesome, and that really, really helps. And again, like you said, as their voices change, it really is hard for them to figure out those low notes. So I keep them where they feel easy, and then as after it's changed even more, so that's when they can make the switch when you have your tenor bass choir.
Well, it's so funny. Like, there are some students, I'm thinking of one specifically that's now a freshman, but like whenever he came over to the junior high from you, he was definitely a bass too. And like, obviously, at the junior high level, especially in my non-audition tenor bass choir, if you can sing in tune and you're a bass, I need you to sing bass.
Yeah. You mean if you can sing in tune and your voice has changed?
And your voice has changed.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. If you can sing in tune and your voice has changed, I need you to sing bass. Because a lot of the kids they're used to singing in their head voice, their falsetto, and all that kind of stuff in choir with you and with the other intermediate teachers, and they can sing tenor just fine. But there's this one kid who, like, his voice had fully changed. I needed him to sing bass, but he just could not figure it out. He's so used to singing in his head voice and falsetto that he just kept singing everything up there. We still have a bass too. I don't think he came from you though. I think he came from Inman, and he prefers, and it's beautiful singing up there. But I'm like, dude, we need you as a bass because like you can sing those notes,
right?
And like we need you down there. But it's just funny, like. Again, like you said, most kids are waiting for their voice to change, but then in our district, they prefer singing up high, just because we celebrate it so much, which is awesome. Until I need that person to sing bass too, and they don't.
Sing a low G.
Yeah. Okay, so Taylor, you started out your career teaching elementary for 2 years. Then you went to the middle school with Danny for 2 years. Then you went back to teaching elementary for the last 9 years. I feel like it's normal in our career. A lot of people are like, they ask me, teaching 7th and 8th grade, they say, okay, when you moving up?
Yep.
It's like one of my biggest pet peeves. And you chose to go up for a little bit, and then you realize, no, this is not my thing. I'm going to go back down.
Oh, the horrors.
But so why did you choose to do that? And why do you think you're meant to be an elementary music teacher? Additionally, please tell us the most ridiculous stories of co-teaching with Danny at Reed Academy.
And don't dare to say some nonsense like the reason why you went to elementary was to get away from me.
No, I would never say that.
I've heard that.
It's never.
I'm just kidding.
Not for me. You haven't. So it was.
I could only take 2 years with him.
Oh my
I had to
gosh.
get out.
No,
Nixa had an opening and I ran.
I was offended. I wasn't offended, but I was a little salty when he left elementary.
I know.
And it was fine. And I didn't mean for it to come like that. I was just so I was kind of heartbroken.
Yeah.
Like, you left. And so
you guys are still best friends.
Yeah.
You guys
But
were best friends.
Yeah.
Back
And
then.
he told me that he perceived that I was a little salty, and I didn't think I was in the moment, but then when I thought back, I was like, yeah, maybe I was a little salty.
Yeah.
And it was for no good reason. Like, I was happy for you moving on.
Yeah.
I just think, like, you get accustomed to someone being there every day, and it's like they're not there anymore, and it's tricky.
It was a hard move because not only was I working with, one of my best friends here, and then I had to say, hey, I love working with you, but I miss elementary. And it was part of the having the 6th grade select singers going to MMEA, working with the 6th graders, our youngest, that I just fell in love with. I miss elementary.
Also, I think the main reason you can agree was I was teaching in Nixa at the time, and you just wanted to be closer to me.
Yes. Were we on speaking terms yet?
We were back on speaking terms.
Yes, we were. I'm just messing with you. So no, we were able to. I just missed elementary a lot, and I had to realize that I had to go through a lot. Like, I went to counseling. I went to figure out, because we had a program. Yours went to nationals, okay, and state that year, and mine went to state. And I'm like, what are people going to think of me going from this nationally recognized program and at the state level, and you're having all this success, and then you're going to go to another program in elementary, and I just was caught up in what people would think of me, and instead of doing what I had to come to realize was what was best for me, which was I truly believe everyone has an inner child. My inner child is a second grader, and that's really how I feel like people really teach best to people that their inner child is. I really truly feel like your inner child is a junior high kid.
7th grader.
Yeah, I do. And so I really think...
Never thought about that before.
Yeah, and so I tell my student teachers, who's your inner child? Because that's who you're going to gravitate towards, And so I love, I can deal with whine. Elementary has a little bit more whining, and those secondaries, I can't deal with it. And the drama of middle school, that grates on me. It really stresses me out. But whine I could take all day. But other, especially high schools, people I can deal with the drama all the day. I do deal with all the time. But that whining, I can't deal with it. And I'm I can deal with it. It doesn't bother me at all. So I just love it.
Which is why you get along with my kids so well.
Yeah. I love that elementary age there's a purity to it that is just so much fun. And then when that unchanged voice is so much fun, and getting to work with 500 kids and them fall in love with music, and I get them for 7 years.
7 years.
That's 7 crazy. Years I get to work with them and build them up to them love music and then pass them on to you.
I was going to say, imagine how blessed you can be if you are Blake Richter or Lauren Bowman and you get kids that have been taught by Taylor Shaeffer for 7 years straight. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, thank you for saying that. But it is really just so much fun to see them grow from a 5-year-old to a preteen, and the relationships I get to have with these families, because some of them, they have 5 kids, and I get to see those family members for 15 years, and I also like going to a district that has one high school, because then I get to go and support all these kids up in the middle school and the high school and get to see them grow, and it's really neat.
Yeah, I love that. I still need to know, what is the craziest thing that happened whenever you co-taught with Danny?
Well, I think I always go back to, this was our own fault. We were doing a lip sync battle with our at Reed Academy for the staff Christmas party.
Was it a lip sync battle or was it a dance?
I think it was a dance off.
Was it a dance off?
Yeah, because I don't think there was lip singing there.
No, it was a dance off. I remember.
Okay, it was just
I wasn't there, but I've heard the story.
I felt like it morphed, but I'm not sure. Regardless, we did more dancing. We did dancing.
I've heard the story so vividly that I feel like I was there.
I feel like it was it was.
And it was a dance off.
Yeah.
There's a video that exists of this.
Oh, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, you did. Rich Dameron had it.
Oh, he has it? Okay, I haven't seen it in a long time. I want to see it again, because so we were practicing in your classroom, which is in the basement of the school, and we had the music on, and it was after school, and we were just really trying to hit all these moves. I mean, at one point we had the, basketball rip away pants, and we had we borrowed the junior high cross country shorts. So just imagine that. It was amazing. And then we did jump on. We
put a lot of time.
We put a lot of time into this because we wanted to win, because
But the dance for us, so it was the Will Smith thing, the jump on routine that they did, in Carlton. And we put a lot of time into this, so there was a lot of rehearsing going on. And part of the routine is we had to work it out that one of us had to jump on the other person. We had to catch him and swing him around. And the problem is I did that a few times, and it was just it was a lot to take physically. And then we were working on it again. The music was blasting. Before
he's one more time.
Before he's going to jump, I'm like, no, don't do this time. I'm in pain. And he thought I said, do it, jump.
Jump.
And so he jumped, and I caught him because I didn't want him to die. But in the process, I just my back gave out, and it was not a good situation.
It was really bad.
We ended up getting second place.
We got second. We're still bitter about that, honestly.
To this day,
we deserve first place. 100%. No offense if the first place person hears this. It was interesting for one specific demographic of people, but
I don't even want to ask.
But
the men, it was interesting for them, but ours was we worked so hard on this one.
We worked really hard.
It was really.
And I was new to the school, and I really put myself out there for only being there 3 months, and I was in cross country shorts in front of the whole staff.
I keep thinking about this. I'm very proud of you for even doing this.
Yeah, I was very I was not out of my shell very much at that point.
I know, but you ate when we did it together. We killed it. We just deserved first place, and I think we missed out on gift cards or something, which made it even worse.
Yeah, it was sad.
Man, that's a great story.
Yeah,
that's a great story.
So Taylor, what advice would you give someone starting out K through 6, anywhere in that realm, starting out teaching elementary music, what would you tell them?
Number one, I would say if you have a Kodai level, I would definitely look into Kodai doing a level 1. I did it after my first year. It changed my life. I would definitely do a Kodai level or ORF level or any sort of level that's beyond your music ed degree.
Do you think that also helps for secondary educators?
Yes, I really do. I think it makes how they scaffold in Kodai. When I left music education, like I knew chorally stuff, but what concepts a second grader needs to know, I had no idea. I mean, we went to Panera, and I just asked you all these questions because I didn't know. Kodai.
After
I left education university to go teach
yeah.
a Roundtree, I'm like, I don't know what these kids need at each grade level.
Yeah.
Well, Kodai helps you so much, and it allowed me to gave me the fence where I could play all around in that fence. If you know that analogy, that I now with that fence, I'm able to go around and play wherever I want, and my kids can too. My students. That Kodai was a huge factor of why I was a success, along with asking a lot of really dumb questions to my mentors that I was okay asking. Being able to reach out. I tell my student teachers, no question is too dumb. Please ask me when you're struggling any question, because you're going to need that support in order for, we have a teacher shortage here. We need people supporting and mentoring these new teachers, which is why I made the Treble Classroom, .com. It is to help these teachers have free resources because we just need more people in the field.
Yeah. Please visit the trebleclassroom.com. There's stuff on there for every age group.
Yeah, I'm trying to add more, and
there's warm-ups, there's rounds, there's literature selections and a spreadsheet. It's fantastic. There's videos of people doing
I try to add
warm-ups.
Yep, warm-ups and other things. Just when you're in February, because that's the armpit of the school year, and you need something. You just need something to try and re-energize. That's what it's there for.
Treble Classroom. Beautiful.
Yep.
Beautiful. Well, Taylor, thank you so much for being on the Choir Guys podcast. You're one of our favorite people, and obviously we feel so blessed to know you, and we also feel so blessed to teach alongside you. So thank you for sharing. Like we know your wisdom. We hear it all the time, and we love it. But now we got to share it with our listeners. So thank you for sitting down and talking with us today. We appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, that wraps up this week's episode of the Choir Guys podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube to the Choir Guys channel so that way you can know when new episodes are coming out. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
We could not be more thankful for our incredible sponsors. Please make sure to visit them on their websites and check them out in the description box below. If you are interested in partnering with the Choir Guys, please email us at thechoirguyspod@gmail.com.
You can follow the show on all social media at The Choir Guys Pod to catch bonus content throughout the week. Feel free to message us through these platforms if you want to hear us talk about something specific on the show.
Thanks again to our pal, Taylor Shaeffer, for joining us on the podcast today. You are incredible, and we are so thankful for what you do to inspire our singers at Nixa. Thank you for inspiring our listeners today as well.
Wow, that wasn't scripted at all. That was genuine. Came straight from the heart. I loved it. Man, I felt something there. Thanks again so much for watching. We will see you in a couple of weeks. Bye.
I almost tried to work in the blue lights into this scenario.
I was thinking if we were going to do that when we were talking about the flamingos, I thought you were going to mention that. But I don't even know what I would have done.
I really did think about it.
The candles for CC Pneumonia?
Yeah.
Moja, sorry.
Yeah.
Why is it?
So the candles of CC Pneumonia.
What's wrong with them?
There's nothing wrong with them. It was a
blue
brilliant
lights.
idea.
That was my idea. And he still always says that he gave me the idea to have the blue candles at MMA.
I told you to do it point blank.
I think you talk about lights, but I had seen someone use blue lights
Yes,
with the choir.
that's true. You chose blue lights. I
Yeah.
said the thing about the lights, but then you just disregarded that I told you it was about lights in the first
The blue
place.
lights, though, made it all the difference, though.
All right.
Yeah, it was the blue lights was actually, and now we can't even do that.
I still
Anyway.
think your 2019 MMA performance was one of the all-time best elementary performances I've ever seen. It was phenomenal.
It was amazing.
was
I
fun.
loved Danny's idea of the blue candlelights. It was incredible.
My idea, but that's okay. I see what you did there.
Just kidding.
Yeah, it's okay. You have to do more podcasts.
I didn't
after
say
this,
the color blue.
so, no,
I'll give you that.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's the first you've ever admitted that. I appreciate that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you ever stayed at a boutique hotel? You know, one of those places where everything is curated to be ultra special? Well, that's exactly the approach they take at Walton Music. Think of Walton as your boutique choral publisher. The Walton catalog features exceptional works from around the world, each carefully chosen for its musical excellence and supported with helpful tools for performers. With Walton Music, you're not just selecting music, you're choosing a curated quality experience with all of the details to help you and your choir succeed. Encore Tours proudly supports the Choir Guys community. See how they help choirs plan international performance tours at encoretours.com/choir-guys. Do you need a dependable fall fundraiser? Kansas Maid has been incredible to work with, and their pastries always arrive in time for Thanksgiving. Start the conversation now at kansasmaid.com. Are you tired of logging into 5 different social media platforms to make the same post? Class Intercom connects all your school's social media accounts in one place, and you can schedule out your post ahead of time. Simple, organized, powerful. Go to classintercom.com today.